Jai Shri Ram, welcome to Astrology with Abhilasha. Before starting the video, before discussing the topic of today's video, I'm so thankful for each and everybody of you who gave me feedback on the last video, who shared their charts and told that yes, this is aptly applicable, and I'm so much thankful for the feedbacks you're giving, and it helps me a lot and it motivates me to work harder and make much better videos which can cater your requirements. Thanks a lot. Now we shall go to the topic of today's video. I'm going to discuss about how to do a good matchmaking and how to match your horoscope, how to detect that if your vibes matches with the other person, are you both good for a relationship or marriage or not? Will your relationship bring out the best of you, or it will lead you into some kind of a problem? Now we should understand that many people would argue against the concept of matchmaking, giving references of many people who do not even had their horoscopes and they got married and they are living a happy life. Okay, that is certainly possible, but isn't it a good way that if you have your horoscopes, why not match them? Why not understand what kind of aura you are bringing to each other? Isn't it good to have a struggle free life rather than struggling and then achieving something? Okay, so I would advise that before going into a relationship or getting married to somebody, you should at least once check your horoscope, match it with each other, at least to understand where problem can arise in your marriage or relationship. Even if you do not believe in the concept of matching, or if you're a hardcore romantic who believes that love can conquer all, which is very true, but still match your horoscope just to understand what you can improve into each other, where the problem lies, what should you ignore, what can be the area of tussle between you two, so you can easily have a way, right? So any two people who interact after each other falling in love, they affect each other's aura. Even sleeping next to or having food together with someone allows that someone's aura to influence yours. The longer and stronger the influence, the more you will be affected. That is why we commonly see that couple who spend a lot of time together even start to look like each other, particularly if they are in a good harmony. In healthy relationship, I'm talking about. In healthy relationships, the aura of two partners begin to blend. They start influencing each other. But people with poor aura integration is one explanation for the observed fact that they will bring out the worst into each other. Since everything is about energy, everything in this universe has his or her own energy field, and we should be very cautious about which energy field we are choosing for a lifetime. So similarly, your horoscope comprises of 9 grahas which produce a specific aura field around you, which is specific to person, which is very subjective. Your horoscope is a map of your overall aura. For you can only be born at the moment when the aura created by your casual body resonates strongly with the soul you are having. All right, now let's get into the dictums which I use to check whether a match is good or bad, or which you can use to confirm that you should go ahead with a person. Will it yield a good result? Will it make you more prosperous, more stable, more happy, or will it bring the worst out of you? We have seen that many a times marriage and relations take you to greater heights, and many a times it can bring you down without any particular reason. It is just because you cannot concentrate in your work, you cannot concentrate at your family life, because the other person is always a point of some tussle, some disagreement, some fight. So one cannot deal with the animosity he or she have with their partners. We can deal with the animosity we have in the entire world, but not at our home front. So we need a very supportive, caring partner to do greater things in life. That is the first and foremost requirement for any successful person. And as far as I know, everybody wants to be successful in whatever field they are, or in life general. All right. Now the first rule about matchmaking, which I saw works wonderfully and which should be seen by you guys as well. Everybody who's watching this video must be knowing that there is an exaltation sign of a planet and a debilitation sign of a planet. So these rules work around that principle. Now we all know, talking about the principles of matchmaking and what kind of match is totally unavoidable, and you'll definitely fall into a relationship or you marry a person who have this kind of a combination with you, and it's like a planetary conspiracy to make you meet such a person, and then you cannot just move away even after you have a lot of disagreement into the relationship, but eventually you'll always find ways towards each other. What is that combination? It is also known as Khet Guna, but to explain that principle, let me talk. The exaltation or debilitation sign of the seventh lord being your Lagna or your moon sign, then this is a planetary conspiracy that you people will come together. No matter how much difficulties you face, you'll eventually find ways toward each other. All right. So for an example, suppose you are an Aquarius ascendant and the other person is Libra ascendant. So first of all, Aquarius ascendant have Saturn as the ruling planet, and Saturn will exalt in the other person's ascendant, that is the Libra ascendant person. So this is a good match for one. The second part is, for Aquarius ascendant person, seventh lord becomes Sun, and Sun debilitates in the Libra ascendant person's chart. As we all know, Sun's debilitation sign is Libra. So this is a good match. The exaltation or debilitation of seventh lord being the Lagna or moon sign of the partner. This is a very good match, and this is a match where even after a lot of differences, you'll never let the other person go, and you resolve your issues and just be very submissive towards each other. Now, the technique 2 of seeing whether the other person is made for you or not is about Lagna matching. Your Lagna Lord should not be debilitated in your partner's Lagna. Alright? So suppose you're a Libra ascendant person and you happens to marry a Virgo ascendant person. It will be really bad because Venus debilitates in the sign of Virgo. So your Lagna Lord, if you are a Libra ascendant and you marry a Virgo ascendant person, your whole personality will be in debilitation after marriage because the other person's Lagna is Virgo. So this is not a good match. It will lead to great harassment. So you should at all costs avoid this kind of match. This can be taken to your moon sign as well. Now, the opposite of this is your ascendant lord exalting in the partner's Lagna. This is very good. It will ensure rise of luck after marriage. Like you are a Cancer ascendant person and you marry a Taurus ascendant person. So your ascendant or moon gets exalted in Taurus. It will be a really good match and your luck will rise after marriage. So this is the another point we should look while matching a horoscope or while choosing a partner. Alright. Now the other point. The mutual placement of Lagna Lord in both the chart indicates the approach towards each other. So if we understand this point, what I'm trying to say is take up your chart and look into the chart of your partner. Now see where the placement of Lagna Lord is happening in both the chart. Like your partner is a Gemini ascendant and you are a Libra ascendant. So in your chart itself, check the placement of Mercury from Venus because Venus is your Lagna Lord. You are trying to match with a Gemini ascendant person. So check the placement of Mercury and Venus in your own chart. If the placement of Mercury, Venus, or to say any planet is 212, then it is a bad match. If it is 59, 15, 17, it is wonderful. 17 is very, very good in the context of matchmaking. So like let's say if the ascendant lord of a person is Saturn and your ascendant lord is Venus, and in your own chart Saturn and Venus is 5-9 to each other, it will be a good match for you. Understand, I'm saying that check your Lagna Lord and the other person's Lagna Lord in your own chart, right? So it will be a good match. Similarly, very important, the other technique which I'm going to tell you is check the sign of moon and the placement of moon signs, because moon is the bringer of finances after marriage. How will be your finances after marriage depends upon the moon placement. Generally people only think about moon on the mental plane, like how will you be connected towards each other emotionally. But what I have seen is Moon is very, very crucial to understand how would be your finances after marriage. And as we all know, in today's world and scenario, finances plays a crucial role in success of a marriage, or you know not a very great marriage. Highly depends upon finances which you guys have. So again, you have to check the moon sign for this. All right, and you have to see that the placement happens to be good. So that is all which I wanted to discuss about the points we should remember while matching the charts. I will keep coming up with such videos which will help you understand what kind of a relation you should go into. That is all for today. Jai Shri Ram. Have a good day. Alright, so another point which I want to tell you about matchmaking is that check the D9 Lagna. The D9 Lagna of you and your partner should not fall in 6-8 to each other or 2-12 to each other, because this placement will bring hardships, sudden events which you won't be able to handle, which would be very detrimental for you guys. This can be seen. So it is a very important thing to check, because as we all know, your D9 chart plays a very, very important role in your marriage, or we can say it is a very important chart to actually conclude the luck of your life. So having the luck of your life 6-8 or 2-12 to each other will not let you progress. It would be a very regressive combination. So you should be very well aware of it before taking up your relation to a serious note. You should check this. Now, the other and the very important part, I have talked about physical interaction, I have talked about finances, I have talked about the luck part. Now, the fourth and the very important part, in my opinion, for a good marital life or a good relation should be the loyalty part. How loyal you would be towards each other, or how much you'll be able to follow the dharma of your marriage. What all comprises of dharma of a marriage? Both the partners should be able to take care of each other's need, requirements, and they should be very cautious of the social status they have to maintain after getting into a relation towards each other. The social sanctity of marriage, the dharma of marriage, what kind of a couple would keep it. So take the seventh lord, and we know that signs are divided into movable, fixed, and dual. Check which category your seventh lord is falling into. Is your seventh lord a movable sign? Is your seventh lord a fixed sign? Is it a dual sign? Check it. Then if both the partners have same tendency signs, like both the partners' seventh lord is movable, you will take care of each other's dharma of marriage, each other's responsibility. You will be happy to take. If both the partners have fixed, it will go very well. If both the partner have dual, it will go very well. But if there is a mismatch like fixed with movable or vice versa, you will not keep the sanctity of marriage. Some way or the other doesn't only mean that the person will have an affair with the outside the marriage, but it can also show that the person will not be interested in bearing the responsibilities which come along with marriage. All right. Now, I would like to explain that while checking the dual 30-degree will further be bifurcated into fixed and movable. So you should keep that in mind, that of a dual sign, 0 to 15 degrees fixed and 15 to 30 degree is movable in a dual sign. So you should check accordingly. The 30-degree of dual sign is not completely dual. The first 15 degrees fixed and the next 15 degree is movable. So there should be a matching of this element as well, and this should be done on the basis of the 7th lord. Now there is a very rare concept which I'll discuss in some other video. That is all for right now. Take care. Jai Shri Ram. Have a good day.